Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining, this is Temawal. I really want to appreciate everyone for their messages and their prayers. It really goes a long way for me. It makes me understand how effective what I'm doing is and how positive it is on other people. I really appreciate so much. On today, I'll be doing how to prepare for your F1 visa interview. Dress nicely. The way you dress is the way you are dressed. I know some people have been lucky enough to probably wear Ankara, wear slippers to the embassy and they got their visa. Don't be like those people. Look good. When I went to the embassy, I looked so good. I looked like I was going for a job interview. Look your best like you're going for a job interview because you don't know anybody there. And sometimes the way you can meet some viewer and they just love the way you look. One thing again is that mind the type of perfume fragrance you use when going for your interview. Don't go for your interview and go choke the VO. No. Use a very mild, fruity fragrance. On the day of your interview, before you leave the house, cross-check your documents. All the documents I went to, I checked them over and over again to make sure that I'm with the right document. Your pictures, everything, because at the embassy, they will charge you a lot of money for just one passport. They can charge you like 5,000 naira for just one passport. So make sure as possible to check all these things and bring them complete to the embassy, because when one of your documents is missing, you have to go back, and that's the end for you, and that's you coming back and joining the queue from the beginning. When your interview is for 6 o'clock, make sure you get to the embassy as early as 5:30 if you're close to the embassy. Don't go and stand at the embassy 2 hours before, an hour before. Make sure you're conversant with what's in your DS160. Make sure you fill your DS160 by yourself. Don't let any other person fill your DS160 for you. And if eventually maybe someone has to fill your DS160 for you, be conversant with what's on your DS160, be knowledgeable about what's on your DS160, and do not lie about your DS160. For those that don't know what DS160 is, so you know how you're going for an interview, the viewer doesn't know you, the viewer has never met you. So DS160 is what will give them an idea of who you are and the type of questions to ask you, aside from the normal questions they ask people on a normal day. So by the time they ask you questions on your DS160 and you flop, that's the end. It just makes them feel like you're not knowledgeable of what you have on your DS160, you didn't fit the DS160 by yourself, and you're not aware of what you're doing there at that moment. So know your DS160. Study your DS160. DS160 is just a form to fill, but studying your DS160 also is like studying for an exam. You have to study. You have to know everything on your DS160. So let's get into the rest of the things we need. Before your interview, you have to practice. This is what people don't know. They think it's just something that you just wake up one morning and the next thing, boom, you meet yourself at the embassy. No, because if you go to the embassy and you go there to say what's not, that's the end. By the time you flop for the first question you're being asked, that's the end of everything. It just shows that you don't know what you're doing. So you have to practice. And like they say, practice makes perfect. So you have to practice over and over and over again. You have to do more. I personally, I was in like 7 mock classes. I joined like 7 mock classes every 8, 9 p.m. at night, and I go upstage to do mock with every other person. So make sure you study, do your mock, you know, tell people to listen to you speak. Own the story. Let the story be your story. Make sure your transcripts are well precise and they are well. Let your friends watch you practice. Let your friends ask you questions. Own the story, right? Let the story be your story. Whatever you're saying, put it down. Write everything down and own up to it like it's your story. Make sure you check your transcript over and over and over again. Let your story make sense. Wake up at night, check your transcript, fill in all possible gaps. Make sure that your transcript makes sense. And for those that don't know what I mean by transcript is like let me say like a template. Before going for your interview, you need to articulate the why, because literally all the questions that we ask you at the interview, there's gonna be a lot of why inside. Why are you going for this course? Why are you going to this school? Why did you want to go to America? Or why do you want to go to America? Why did you choose America? Why this? Why that? So be articulated. Articulate all the why in all the questions I'll be asked. Make sure you practice over and over again. Why would you want to go to a particular place and you don't know your reason why, or you don't have any aim why you're going to this school? So you need to know what you're doing. When you're able to convince yourself, you can convince the VU. And that's one thing you need to know. So when you make the story your story, even if they wake you up at any time of the night, is your story. So you can answer the story and you can talk about it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is confidence. Leave fear at the door. Walk into the embassy like nothing is going on. Smile. Keep a huge smile on your face. When I got to the embassy, I was tensed. There was so much pressure on me. For months before my interview, I had so much anxiety. I was confused. I didn't know what to meet, but I kept a huge smile on my face and I was so relaxed. It's not easy because they say it's easier said than done. But trust me, if you go around and ask any international student right now, I'm sure that's the same thing they will tell you. So you have to keep a huge smile on your face, regardless of the situation. When questions are thrown at you, you don't necessarily have to laugh about it. Just smile. Accept it. Smile. And smile. Like I said, always smile. Don't frown at anything. Make sure you are calm and confident because these people can read through you. They need you to show them that you need this visa. They need you to prove to them that you need this visa. So whatever facial expression you give which doesn't sit well with them, it's a cancel for you. So regardless how the VO is, maybe you greeted the VO and the VO didn't respond to you, or the VO spoke to you some type of way you didn't like, don't care about that. Just keep smiling, be respectful, and be calm. Show the visa officer that this visa means a lot to you. You work so hard to have this visa, you need this visa, and this visa for your next phase of life. Be sure to speak loudly. Be loud and clear. So for those who haven't been to the embassy before, where you're going to do your interview, where the views are, it's like a cubicle. There's like a thing dividing the both of you. So if you're not loud and clear, they won't hear you. Like me talking to them, this thing you're going to do right now is basically about your life. So you have to be really loud and clear. And one thing again is that there's nothing wrong in saying, "Oh, can you repeat that? Can you repeat what you just said?" They're not gonna beat you. They're not gonna hurt you. If they're giving you an accent and you don't understand the accent, ask them, "Oh, what did you just say? I don't understand you." There's nothing wrong in asking that you don't understand what they said. Make sure to maintain eye contact. No matter what happens, maintain eye contact. Because when you start looking around like this, I'm going to the school because they will think you have like a negative thing to do. They'll think you have your own personal aim. Your aim is not to go to school. So keep eye contact. On the day of my interview, I was tense. I was scared, which is normal, but I kept eye contact. I held on to the cubicle and I looked at the VO straight into the eyes. Everything I said, I'm sure I didn't blink. My interview was just for 5 minutes, and all the questions you asked me, I can bet you that I didn't even look at the side. That's why I can't tell you that, oh, on the day of my interview, I heard somebody say something in front of me, or heard someone talking next to me. I didn't hear any other thing that was going on around me. The only thing I was listening to was me and the VO. And my aim was to get that white paper when leaving. And my aim again was to look into the guy's eyes and get him to give me my white paper. Don't look like you're shy, you're scared, or you're afraid. No, don't give that look. They need to see your confidence level. One thing you need to know is that by the time you step into the embassy, before they even ask you any questions, they need your confidence level. Your confidence level needs to come to play. That's when you know that you're ready for an interview. So while you're doing your mock at home, make sure people tell you your confidence level. Make sure they rate your confidence level because you need that a lot. Don't act shady and don't act like you have your own plan. Don't let your village people get a hold of you. However your interview turns out, don't be passive aggressive. Don't sound rude. Just accept it. Denial is not the end. Just accept whatever and leave. Smile, say thank you and leave. Don't frown your face. Keep it cool. There are reasons for possible denial that people don't know. And these are the things you need to know. You can have fundings, you can even have a lot of scholarship and they still deny you. So here are the reasons why you're being denied or why you were denied. If you're watching this video and you were recently denied, I am so sorry. Denial hurts so bad. Denial is not rejection, and that's not the end. And you have to try and try and try again. So when they ask you why you're doing this program, it could be that you want to do an MBA and your bachelor's you did like mass communication or you did public relations and everything. So you need reasons to why you want to do an MBA, you need to give them an adequate reason to why you want to do an MBA. If the reason why you want to do an MBA does not match with what you did before, or maybe your workplace, they might deny you. You need to explain to them why you want to study this program. It's either affiliated with your current experience or your current workplace or whatever. So you need to tell them why you want to do this program. The reasons why people get denied is because of family tie. You can have a full scholarship, full funded scholarship, and still get denied if you don't have family ties. And when I say family ties, is you don't have anything back in Nigeria. They ask you, what does your father do? What do? You have nothing back in Nigeria. You have no business in Nigeria. It's not like you're coming back to Nigeria for a particular role. It's not like you're coming back to Nigeria for a particular thing, because Americans, these videos, they don't want people in their country. They don't want people to overstay in their country. They want everyone to go to their country and come back home to do whatever it is you're doing, continue your education in Nigeria, come back to Nigeria to take up your workplace, come back to Nigeria to do whatever it is. They don't want people to stay back. So if you can give an adequate home tie, even with your full funding, you won't be denied. But if you have full funding and you can't give an adequate home tie, you'll be denied. One of the reasons why people get denied again is travel history. So I've heard people say that if you don't have a travel history, they will deny you, which is it. Some people are not lucky enough to pass through, right? And some people have been lucky enough, they have no travel history and they scaled through. If you have a criminal record or you have a family member in the United States who overstayed in the United States, it might affect you. Especially if you've made it known to the visa officer that you have families here in the United States that are not citizens, it will affect you. So before the interview, check your history, check your documents and how it might affect you negatively. Identify these documents and make sure to defend them when questions about them arises. It is an opportunity to make your story and your transcript a better one. Go through them, make sure to own up to the story. Take some time out to check the questions you were asked the other time and the answers you gave. Take some time out to review again, mostly the questions that you fumbled in. Write them down and fix all the loopholes in it. If you didn't have the right documents at first, make sure you get them and make sure you fill your DS-160 completely and you can own up to your story. Study your DS-160 and make sure you own up to the story, like I said, because on your next day of interview, you're going to be asked what has changed. And if you cannot defend or say reasons to why or what has changed, you know what it is for you. So I'll also be sharing things to do after you get your visa to move abroad. So do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.